Solving one-step equations. These equations will have integers, which are whole numbers for answers, and there will be no negatives. You will also be learning the language of math. I will be using equations in the form of 7m equals 21 and in the form of 35 equals 7m. Warning. Warning! Never let the dogs or the 2-year-olds think that you do not like them. Never let the dogs or the 2-year-olds think that you do not like them. Warning! Math is like a dog and a 2-year-old. It will get you if it thinks you do not like it. Dogs may bite you if they think you don't like them. 2-year-olds may bite or kick you if they think you do not like them. If you do not believe me, try being mean to a dog or a 2-year-old. Once you establish that you are not going to tell the math that you do not like it, you can start learning math. Math can be made easy and fun. Warning, heed to the warning. And just for the record, 2-year-olds rule the world. Yes, 2-year-olds do rule the world. Yes, they do. And not only do they rule the world, but math is on the leadership team. And now we will learn about the language of math. Variable. A variable is a letter or symbol used to represent a number that can change. Examples of variables are X, Y, A, P, A, and box. Notice that X is a variable. It is the most favored variable. I can solve an equation and tell you that the answer X is equal to 7. And then in the next equation, you can find out that X is equal to something else, maybe 9 or 8. Notice that I have uppercase A and lowercase a. And there is a difference. Lowercase a and uppercase a are two different variables, just like little Alice and big Alice are two different people. Also, boxes and other symbols can be used to represent numbers. If I say box plus 11 equals 14, then box is represented by 3. 3 plus 11 is 14. So therefore, box is used as a variable. Children in grades as young as kindergarten learn to use boxes to represent missing numbers, which are variables. Constant. A constant is a number whose value will never change. Examples of constants would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, negative 50, negative 888 pi, 3/4, and 9.78. 2 is a constant because the value of 2 has been 2 forever and will always be 2. If you ask a precocious 2-year-old how old is he or she, the 2-year-old will hold up 2 fingers and say 2. The value of 2 will remain 2 forever. If you have grandchildren, decide to take that path, your grandchildren will know at the age of 2 that 2 is 2. And your great-grandchildren will also say that 2 is 2. That number will never change. It is called a constant. Notice that negative 50 is also a constant because it will never change. Don't let the fact that it's negative fool you. It's still constant because negative 50 will remain negative 50 for all eternity. If you owe me $50, that amount of money remains the same no matter how long you owe the $50. Negative 888 is a constant and it will never change. The fraction 3/4 is a constant. 3/4 represents 3 out of 4. 3/4 of a pie, 3/4 of a cookie, 3/4 of a glass of milk. It is constant. It is the same amount no matter what. 9.78, it's a decimal, but it is also a constant. Notice that the number pi is in this list. If you know anything about pi, you probably know that pi is represented with the number 3.14. Ever since you ever heard about pi, it was 3.14, and forever it will always be 3.14. We know that pi has infinitely many decimal places, but they still say the same. If you wrote 100 or 1,000 decimal places of pi on a piece of paper and left that paper there forever, when you came back, if you came back, it would still say pi, 3.14, etc. Coefficient. Coefficient is the number used to multiply with the variable. It sits next to the variable. Example, 2m. 2 is the coefficient. Note that 2m means 2 times m. So again, we have 2m. 2 sits beside the m. 2 is the coefficient. Integer. An integer is a whole number with no decimal parts. Examples of integers are 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, negative 50, negative 888, negative 1,000. All of the counting numbers are integers. Integers are my favorite numbers. I like integers because it makes a lot of math easy to do. It would be great if you go into the store and the money that you owed would always be an integer. Instead of them asking you for $5.35, maybe it would just be $6. But that wouldn't be good because we already know the stores would round up. If the bill came to $7.75, obviously they would charge you $8 and not $7. So integers are wonderful numbers, but they're not always the best to use in every part of life. One thing we do notice, though, just like in negative 50 and negative 1,000, integers can be negative. They can be positive, they can be negative, but they can never have decimals. Now we will talk about solving an equation. When you are solving an equation, it is like playing a game. There are two things you need to know in order to play. If I say, sit down and play this game with me, you would say, wait a minute, what is the objective and what are the rules? The objective is to isolate the variable and find its value. Isolate variable, yes, that means get the variable alone on one side of the equal sign. Now the rules are, if you want to get rid of a number, you do the opposite. Whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. Now that sounds pretty catchy. Let's try that one again. If you want to get rid of a number, you do the opposite. Whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. Opposite. Oh, opposites in math, addition and subtraction are opposites because they can undo each other. Multiplication and division are opposites because they can undo each other. And now, let's try a little quiz on the prerequisites. Before you see the answer, try answering it yourself. Do not worry about exact definitions or anything like that. Just try to see, can you remember what it is? You can pause the video and then keep going to see the answer. What is the objective when solving an equation? Number 1, to isolate the variable and find its value. Number 2, what are the 2 rules? If you want to get rid of a number, you do the opposite. Whatever you do on one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. Number 3, name the variables in the given list. 3, 6, 7, M, K, 9, B. The variables are M, K, and B. Name the coefficients in the given list. 3M, 5J, 20K. The coefficients are 3, 5, and 20. Name the constants in the given list. 3, 7, 23, M, lowercase m, JK, 10, -7, pi, and 88. The constants are 3, 7, 23, 10, -7, pi, and 88. Name the integers in the given list. Number 6. The list is 10, -50, 2.4, 55, -3/4, 4.56, and 18. The integers are 10, -50, 55, and 19. Number 7. Look at the expression 7m. Identify the parts. Which part is the variable? Which part is the coefficient? The variable is m. The coefficient is 7. Number 8. Say what 7m means in words. 7m means 7 times m. Now you are ready to solve one-step equations. In this equation, I want you to solve for m. 5m equals 30. In order to solve it, we need to isolate the variable m. So the opposite of multiplication is division. 5m means 5 times m, so we divide by 5 on both sides of the equal sign. On the left, 5 divided by 5 gives you 1. On the right, 30 divided by 5 is 6. 1m is the same as saying m because the coefficient 1 is understood. So the answer is m equals 6. Solve for m. Given 7m equals 84. Divide by 7 on both sides. M equals 12. Notice again the answer is an integer, just as I said it would be. Integers are whole numbers with no decimal parts. I hope you are stopping the video when you see the given problem to try to see can you get the answer before it is given. M equals 68. Divide by 17 on both sides. M equals 4. 17 divided by 17 is 1. 68 divided by 17 is 4. 1m is the same as saying m. The answer, m equals 4. You can also stop the video to copy the notes. If you need to, it will help you to remember. Again, Notice that the answer is an integer. Integers are whole numbers with no decimal parts. 144 equals 18m. This time the variable is on the right instead of the left, but our goal is still the same, to get rid of the number with the variable, so that the variable will be alone. Isolate the variable, divide by 18 on both sides. You get 8 is equal to m, because 144 divided by 18 gives you 8. 18 divided by 8 gives you 1. So you have 8 is equal to 1m, which is the same as 8 equals m. That is the answer. And again, the answer is an integer. Integers are whole numbers with no decimal parts. For m, 75 equals 15m. The variable is on the right, but I still want to get it alone. So I want to do the opposite of 15 times m and divide by 15, because 15 divided by 15 is 1. 75 divided by 15 is 5. So therefore, the answer is 5. Again, same problem. 75 equals 15m. Divide by 15 on both sides, m equals 5. For m, divide by 4 on both sides, 1 is equal to m. Answer. Again, the answer is an integer. Integers are whole numbers with no decimal parts. It's equal to 14m. I still want to isolate the variable, get rid of the 14. 14 times m, the opposite of division is multiplication is division. Divide by 14 on both sides, 4 is equal to m. Answer. The answer is an integer. Integers are whole numbers with